As flames and smoke began to fill the apartments at the Commons at Victorian Village, Julia Wallace, who lives on the bottom floor, says she had no idea what was happening above her.
Until she started barking at the window.
She
This way, puppy.
is Star, her service dog.
Had it not been for Star, I probably wouldn't be here because I didn't even really notice the commotion until she started barking.
Julia suffers from sickle cell anemia, which she says causes chronic pain in her joints, and relies on Star
There you go.
to help her open doors. She says when Star heard people yelling and smelled smoke,
She pulled me towards the door.
Julia says she left her apartment so quickly,
I came out of my apartment barefoot.
she didn't have time to grab any clothes.
This shirt and then the socks that I have on and the shoes are all given to me.
She needed firefighters to go into her apartment to retrieve her last tank of oxygen.
This way.
Tonight, the two will sleep at this Red Cross shelter. Julia says the two have nowhere else to go.
That was my apartment for 4 years. So right now I'm just pretty clueless.
But thanks to Star, she says, she's glad she was able to get out without a scratch.
I'm just happy that we got out safe.
Breaks my heart for the historic value that's lost. The smoke is so bad.
Smoke in the air, disbelief in their faces.
Just sad. It's just heartbreaking.
When First Lutheran Church started burning Thursday morning,
It's not the building, it's all the things that are inside the building, the memories.
It looks like the old building is going to be a total loss.
no one believed it could be destroyed in hours.
I think I was a bit numb, and I still am. It seems a bit unreal.
Skyfox captured billowing smoke as firefighters from 4 departments tried to battle the flames.
As you can see, it was just too far gone and too much fire too soon.
By the time they got the call at 6:30, flames extended from the basement to the roof. A newer section of classrooms survived, but the 90-year-old sanctuary was left in ruins.
There's just things, but some of those things can't be replaced for the future.
The fire shattered stained glass windows and destroyed an irreplaceable Brumbaugh organ.
You can replace the building, but you can't replace the memories.
So many memories here lost.
One of the happiest days of my life, besides getting married, was when I walked my daughter down the aisle here.
U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown was a member for 10 years.
This church has been has been a place of refuge and comfort for a lot of people.
Now a place known for feeding the hungry and helping the poor is counting on the community for help, vowing to rebuild.
We'll move ahead. God always has plans.
The congregation keeping faith in the face of tragedy.
We will rebuild one way or the other. It has to be.
Smoke and residents in a race to escape from this fire.
Heard that woman tell everybody to get out. And the next thing I knew, flames were shooting up out of the house.
Electric is dead. The mom and 3 kids inside did make it to safety. After running from the fire, they climbed into an ambulance where they were taken to the hospital.
For precautionary measures.
The fire soon threatened surrounding homes in Franklin as well, sending next-door neighbor Butch Walters to a safer spot across the street to avoid the flames.
They want to hurt you sooner or later.
After fire crews cleared the nearby homes,
You know, that's always our first priority, is making sure that lives are safe and protected.
Can I get a ladder to the second floor window?
they went to work putting out the fire.
The smoke conditions were absolutely thick black all the way down through the first floor.
Making things worse for crews, the house's hidden history.
The house itself is a very old, it's actually a log cabin underneath the siding that you see.
But what really got the attention of those here on South Main and Hudson were the explosions coming from the fire.
And there were several fairly large booms.
Neighbors guessed they were gas cans and weren't taking any chances.
I immediately went back and checked the gas cans that I own.
One neighbor was also happy he checked something else before the fire, his insurance. He just bought it a few months ago.
Right now, I'm thankful to the Lord that I wasn't in it.
The sweet sound of scraping pavement. Victory for Louis Jessing as he heaves one of the last shovelfuls of snow onto a giant pile. Earlier, he had this to say to a passing neighbor.
She said, "Merry Christmas." I said, "This is a gift I'll give back to you."
Jessing's fiance sets to work on the actual car.
There's snow, and then when you get under the snow is like 1/4 of an inch of ice all over the car.
Just down the block.
1, 2, 3.
A hefty shove from neighbors gets this car to finally budge. That's been a common sight. Columbus City plows have an enormous task when a storm like this hits. They have to clear almost 6,400 miles of roadway, more than Cleveland and Cincinnati combined. They tackle state routes, arterial streets, collector streets, then finally residential. This winter hasn't been good for Pennsylvania Avenue.
This is probably the worst one in my 28 years.
Andrew Suzo would likely agree with his neighbor. His car never even moved today.
My door was frozen shut with a thick layer of ice and unable to get in to get to work. So I had to strap on the boots and make the walk.
As night sets in, freezing is the new problem. The city says ice and snow on roads makes plowing even harder. Not something Rebecca Reams wants to hear.
Are you ready? This will be the 3rd time today I've dug myself out. I did it first this morning when I parked over there and dug myself out of that parking spot. And then my parking lot at work, the snowplow guy plowed me into my parking spot.
Yes.
So I dug it out to come home and then got stuck getting in my parking spot again.
Here's your coin.
Thank you
Yeah, no problem.
so much.